evening, all of us. Morning, good afternoon, anywhere you're listening to, from any part of the world, you are cordially welcome to the last edition of this beautiful event, RECONCILE 2023, with the theme, How to Inherit Riches from Our Ancestors. This beautiful moment that we have shared within these few days has been an interesting one for us. And we do hope that is the one that will open up opportunities for us. As the year is coming to an end, we are not ending. We will also be here. If you had disappointment in 2023, don't give up. 2024 is around the corner already, and it's going to be a beautiful one. Whatever disappointment you have faced this year, it's time to put them behind. Put them behind, for the future is so bright for you. Leave behind the disappointment of the past. Leave behind the heartbreak of the past. Leave behind the sufferings of the past. Leave behind the confusion of the past. And get ready for an exciting future. A future that you must be part of. A future that you must create for yourself and for your generations to come. For 2 days, we have discussed our ancestors and ancestral links. We discussed that the lives our ancestors lived have direct links to our present lives. We admitted as humans, we have just one common ancestry as humans. All of us, irrespective of your race. All humans started as two-legged animals, and they evolved over time in intelligence. They dispersed to different regions around the world. They all adapted to their environment and evolved to the races of humans you have seen or you are seeing today. That ancestry is what all humans share in common. And within these 2 days, we also discussed that the rate of advancement may vary from region to region, or even from race to race, but none is more important to the universe than the other. However, we also admitted that within human history, there also exists common human ancestry. And within that human ancestry, there exist various ancestries too. Each ancestry is of different components. Make no mistake about that. Each ancestry is of different components and of different aspirations. And the truth is that for proper growth, each ancestry must master its components. Its past, present, and the future is hidden in these components. For order to be maintained, In every era, certain region or race maintains significant advantage as the other demands. But none of that lasts forever. That is what we have agreed here. That is what we've discussed. And we did not stop there. We didn't. You see, almost every religion in this world believes in the immortality of the soul. Yes, that's one of the few ideologies that connects every religion and every spirituality. They believe in the immortality of the soul. And what does that mean? That means that our souls live forever. In other words, our soul predates our current bodies. So I'm sure you're taught in your religion. I'm sorry you're taught that in your religion. But the question is, where was the soul before your current body? I don't know if you've asked that question. If the soul is immortal and you're just 30 years, 25, 50 or thereabout, and you ask yourself, where was this soul before I came into this world? Yeah, you see, your soul keeps coming back in different bodies. So it's a pattern. It comes, it goes. Each one it comes, it tries to do something better for the soul. That is why you and your ancestors are one and of the same. Because it's the same soul that keeps coming back in different forms, in different era. It's a progression. Each time it comes, it tries to achieve something significant, depending on what is destined for. Why our reality here exists in 3 dimensions, our ancestors' realities exist higher. So you're just like your ancestor on 3 dimensions. Why your ancestors are like you in the higher dimension. So in the real sense, you are your ancestors, and your ancestors are you. That is why whatever you do to them hurts you directly. When you curse them, you curse yourself. When you pray against them, you pray against yourself. You may not know how all these things work, but as we progress, everything will be made clearer to you, and you understand why you are your ancestors and why you are also your descendants. Not many things change along the way. But when you honor your ancestors, you honor yourself. And we ask, how do we honor them? First and foremost, you have to honor them by knowing who they are. You have to know your history, know your origin, know how you came to be, know your ancestral lineage. There's nothing wrong there. It's not too much of a knowledge. And when you know that, you try to know the culture, try to know the figures, the rights, the things they hold so dear, and find a way to hold those things so dear. It doesn't mean changing your religion. It's about acknowledging those who have run this race before you and those who are also you. Because when you do that, you crystallize your consciousness with the one of your ancestors. And I tell you, your ancestors exist higher. So in that case, they form shield around you. Most of the problem you see people face is not ancestral causes, but it's ancestral negligence. I said that yesterday. When you neglect to do the things you need to do to attract your ancestral blessing, when you neglect those things, you fail to progress. And the next thing you will do is to blame the innocent ancestors, when you are actually the one who had failed to master them, understand them. Let me tell you, there are things your people also there. Find those things and hold them there. You're not asking for too much. When they do festivals or whatever, you honor those involved who had tried to keep you to this moment. I'm very sure that if I should ask, none of you in your various cultures have any festival like that. I can assure you that none of you has any day of celebration for your ancestors. I'm very sure of that. Unless you do, you let me know. And when you're telling me, you tell me your country, tell me your ethnicity, and tell me what you people do or the festival or rites that you do in honor of your ancestors. I can't think of any, but if you have any, write it, send it on the comment section for all of us to see. So, when you connect, when you do those things, you honor them and you're honoring yourself. You energize them. You energize yourself. It's in the mind, it's in the thought, it's in connection. It's not in the right, it's not in the practices that they did or they are doing. It's not in what the traditional uh, priests or doctors do. No, it's in the state of mind. You connect to them in your state of mind, and they connect to you. And I told you that yesterday when we were discussing yesterday, we said that I mentioned three types of wisdom I encountered on my journey to infinite wisdom. And I mentioned number one as native wisdom. And I said native wisdom is the one that is handed over to us from our parents, from homes, communities, environment. That is native wisdom. That forms a huge component of who you are. If you ignore it, any other wisdom you seek for will fail. That will serve as the foundation. And we say that native wisdom ancestors. So at this moment, you have to begin to think of what we're talking about. No matter what they went through, it's time to appreciate them. It's time to honor them. It's time to know what they did, what and why they did it. It's time to know what they went through and how they survived it. Many of us don't care about that. We all think that the world just started with us. When you know your past, you understand your present, and you should be able to affect your future. There is no better way to know your past than to connect to your roots. And this is the nucleus of the event we have been enjoying for some days now. And when we return back, certainly activities will continue. Don't go away and don't touch that dial, please. Hello, you all are welcome back. This is the voice of Ayovra. I welcome all of us back to the program. And if you're just joining us, just indicate where you're joining from. And if you're enjoying what you're listening to, please go to the comment section and indicate what seems like an eye opening to you during this event. What did you hear haven't heard before, or that shocked or provoked your thought? You can just share your experience at the comment section. And while we're doing that, I wish to also remind us that the new moon is very beautiful for those who have seen it. It has come with so many beauties, beautiful thing. And the most important thing it has come with is peace and love in the form of the flower or the plant we're supposed to use for our rites. Do not forget to do your right. Get a flower, any plant, even if it's vegetable, anything, as long as it's plant, you just have to use it. Of course, the link for where you can get the right is there on the website. So I urge all of us to get involved. And when we return back shortly, we'll be sharing other people's experiences with Eye of Ra, what they call testimony. But like we always say, we don't want people to rush to this platform in search of miracles, even when we know we are very capable. We want you to be able to create your own miracle. When you unlock your consciousness, you will know your responsibilities. You will know what to do. You will know what to ask God and what not to ask God. And you discover that so much powers have been given to you to do most of the things you run from pillars to posts asking for. But when the situation becomes serious, of course, we have got the powers. Just stay tuned and watch as we proceed.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Light shine on our path. My name is Frederick from Ghana. Today, I'm excited to share with you a transformative encounter I had with a remarkable, a highly spiritual leader of a group. This encounter left an indelible mark on my life, teaching me valuable lessons about the power of spirituality. I became a member somewhere May 2023, performing all the just last month, and then I had a one-on-one encounter of Ra, which changed everything in my life. Sometimes I even wonder who he is, Jesus Christ, Archangel, or Gabriel. The experience I am about to share for all of you, and I am assuring each and every one of you that you are all in the right place at the right time. This is indeed the time for awakening and the right time for Eye of Ra to take the whole world by storm. Let the light shine on our path. Early this month, I was very traumatized, and at a certain point, I could feel that I am almost gone. This was upon a recent promotion I received at my workplace together with my best friend, whom I have lived my past 15 years with. Unfortunately, he died just a week after reporting to his new work. Per the way and manner which he died, everything shows that it was a black magic which ended his life. Just 3 days after his death, I became very weak. I couldn't even walk for 5 minutes. I was very scared. Then something told me to contact Iofra for help. I sent Iofra a message and we arranged for a Google Meet that very day because he told me my case was an urgent one. As soon as I on my face, he told me that my soul has been taken away far away, but he will rescue it back to me. He told me I will see everything in my dreams when he started the process. That very night, I had a dream, and in the dream, I was seated on the right hand side of someone dressed like a king with two people I know in front of me. In the dream, it was like he was seeing an issue I had with them. One of them was very furious and angry that he would never agree. That very night, I felt like death was approaching me, but with the help of Arafura, I was relieved. The next morning, I felt pain all over my body, especially at my waist and my Arafura, and he told me I'm okay. There is nothing wrong with me and the people I saw in my dream, the main people, but he didn't want to he didn't want to attack anybody. He told me the battle has been won already, and the pains I am currently experiencing is a spiritual awakening. He told me that anybody who sits at his right hand side cannot be hurt by anybody. That very day, I did laboratory tests at two hospitals, and I was told nothing was wrong with me. In my subsequent dream, I saw an images of mediations ongoing with several people, including my colleague at the place. In another dream, I saw that I was in a very big conference where I saw two of the biggest men of God in Ghana. One of them gave me and somebody plenty money, which I was running with. Some people came and I gave them some. Later, I went to a very nice hotel and I was in the company of the pastor who gave me the money and his son. A lady dressed in a blue attire, upon seeing the pastor who gave me the money, went closer to the pastor and tried to seduce him. I and the son of the pastor was sitting in a chair watching what was going on. Later, the other pastor, whom was at the conference, was coming to the same room, and I quickly ran faster to where the pastor was and held his hand from the woman to the veranda such that the other pastor will not see. I explained this dream to Alfra, and he explained that I will soon manifest abundant money in my life, and the power he has given me is so huge that it's, it saves one of the biggest pastors in Ghana from shame. In another dream, I was standing outside a very big church and somebody told me to enter the church. When I entered, a friend of mine whom I knew at secondary school and the university offered me a chair on the right hand side of the king who mediated my issues earlier on. One thing I recognized was that despite the huge church, the members in there with so many empty seats. I contacted Alfra and he explained that the huge church with few members are more and more seats suggest that there are few people who are enlightened or undergoing spiritual awakening. I would also like to bring to your notice of a book published by Alfra titled The Sparks, The New Beginning, which I have purchased one. I think I am the first person to purchase this book. The book is aimed at propelling souls undergoing spiritual awakening to their highest consciousness. Currently, I'm in chapter 2 and hopefully I will complete latest by Saturday. On this note, I will thank all of you for listening to me and assure you that you are at the right place at the right time.
Hello, everyone. I think we're having a problem connecting to the second testifier. I think I don't think there's a volume in that speech. So if it gets better, of course, we connect. Otherwise, we proceed. We have got so many testimonies, but as I always say, this miracle is for the lazy mind. The active minds don't wait for miracles, they create their own miracles. So we don't want to pamper you with that belief that anything you need, just close your eyes and you get it. It's not true. You won't get it like that. You have to follow the process, master the process, and know how to get it. Then you can get it. When we create that impression, then we support you to run from one place to another in search of miracle. And that is not what we want. We want you to be self-sufficient so that you can create your own miracle. So while we work on the network and see if the second testifier can come up, we also need to remind you of our giveaway. It was posted on our page earlier today of our beautiful giveaway. That giveaway is 12 codes of EOR. That is the giveaway. Of course, we all know that this piece is authored by all of us. We know how it started. We gave ourselves, for those who don't know, when we started, many of our followers started complaining that they don't get notification. They don't get real-time notification. Some complain that they stay for days without seeing our posts. So they say that we have to create a group where we can all come together, irrespective of what the social media giants think. And they say we have to create a platform, a group. So that's how all these things you're seeing came on board, including the website you're seeing. It's the idea and contributions of people here who said, no, this is what we need. So I'm just here to do your will. And what you wish, what I do is what you wish. And what you wish, I implement. And we say that we have to find, even if it's to create our own Facebook group, because then we just had it only the page. And we said, we agreed to say, okay, that we have to migrate as you guys have requested for. But there were 12 conditions that we must meet. That if we're able to meet those conditions, then we'll migrate. Those of you who have been with us from beginning, a whole lot of you, I see all of you from the very beginning. They are all witnesses to what I'm saying. And then we started rolling out those conditions, one after the other. And after we rolled out those conditions, 12 conditions, we were able to meet all of them. So we are taking you guys a bit to the memory lane, down the memory lane, so that we can understand. If you don't know where you're coming from, you won't know where you are, and you won't know where you're heading to. That is the reason why you have to reconnect with your ancestors, so that you'll have a glimpse of your past. So we agreed, and the whole 12 conditions were met. Those 12 conditions, we termed them 12 codes those 12 conditions. We all did it together. And we termed them 12 codes of EOR. But then there was more touches, things have to be added. I had to do my own part, create the graphics, the imaging, add so many other texts in it to make it a complete book you're seeing. That is why it's on the website there for free to the first 100 people who are going to download it. And of course, we all know while we're in the group, some other people raise suggestion and they say, come, this whole thing we're enjoying here, are we saying that if anything happens, that all of us will just disperse with no connection? And many of you suggested that we had to upgrade. And that's how we created our website. If you go there, it's like a palace. If there is any cyber palace, then it has to be our website. This is not just all the idea of Eye of Ra, it's everybody's idea. So the credit goes to everybody. So I don't see the reason why you will not enjoy your hard work by going there and just download it. You're not paying for it, it's free. We've all done the hard work. We've done the graphics. We've incurred all the costs. It's just for you to take, download and read. And it's not even much. Because I made up my mind that I won't write voluminous books. There are a lot of information to compete with. So big books, I don't know. Some people still do it, but I know it's not that fashionable. So we make it very brief. This one I don't think is up to 20 pages. So don't be afraid of numbers. Don't be afraid of the pages. And of which graphics at least took over like 40-30% of the entire content. So don't be afraid of the volume. It's not much. Go there and download. It's your sweat. We all did this together. Don't forget. Yeah, I'm seeing people like Temidayo. He knows the whole thing here. William, Kio Mwanza. These are the people who know what I'm talking about. Solo, Yvonne, Frederick. You all were part of this project. So it's not here for all of us. It's a sign of appreciation of what we have done so far, so that at least anytime, any day, you can have something to hold on to. And remember, none of that is at any cost apart from your data. Remember, we say that nothing is free in the universe, and nothing is actually free. So in this case, you have to make your time. You have to make your time to read it first and foremost. You have to pay for your data, and then you make our time to go through it. And we listen to huge testimony from Frederick. Uh, that's a huge one. We listened to it, and I remember when Frederick contacted me. That should be his first time, and the tone was frightening. I said, "No, this is a serious case, and some may our blessing never turn to our curses. May we never elevated, may we never be elevated into our graves. Every promotion that we are going to get must be the one to secure our lives, the one to defend us and protect our future, not the one to take our life." Yeah, Frederick has been enjoying rapid promotion, so it's not an easy battle for him to face. But we thank God, he's an overcomer. If you believe, you will have yours. It's no magic. We don't care if we grow very slowly, as long as we don't bring people here to look for miracles. It's not like we dislike it, but I mean, is for lazy mind. And I stated it yesterday, if 500 people set out in search of solutions to their problem through miracles, if God is so merciful that day, out of that 500 people, 50 people will have solution through miracle. That is, if God is so happy that very day. Most of you go to your religious houses and you hear miracle time. How many of the crowd you see there receive those miracles? Just a fraction, if at all there is any. A fraction. And that fraction is why millions are there. Because they want to see if they could be part of that fraction. I think it's a lazy man's thinking. You don't need to be that fraction. When 500 people set out in search of solution to their problem, using self-mastery, using understanding the process, mastering the process, analyzing the challenges, understanding how to manipulate the phenomenon and scenarios. I tell you that out of those 500 people, 450 will have solution to their problem. That is why it's not good to rely on miracles. So we don't promote miracle here. But that does not mean that we don't have it. We do it. When the situation is serious, as in the case of Fred, that's when we come out. So please, you can see the book there. It's very beautiful. Wait for it. As I said, it's just for you to have a read and enjoy it. So as we proceed, we also need to remind us that the year is coming to an end. Next year will be very interesting for us. Who could believe that this is just, we are just how many months old? Who could believe that? And then you can see our transformation. And next year will even be more interesting because most of our programs shall be conducted in our membership portal. And member subscription is also free. So if you haven't subscribed yet, then I advise you to just do so that from next year we can enjoy our effort. We have all labored for it through one way or the other. If not for anything, the attention, the consistency. The universe rewards you for everything, everything that you may not know. Because your timing is different. The time you want it to happen is not when it happens, and you think that you are wasting your time. I know some of us here might be thinking, "Oh, but I haven't got mine. I haven't got my own miracle." And I tell you that your own time is also coming. So the fact that you haven't received it does not mean that it doesn't exist. And it does not mean that you won't receive it. If you knock and the door opens at the first time, you have to walk in with caution. But if you knock and the door refuses to open, keep knocking and don't stop. One day the door will open. So as we end this event tonight, I want to thank all of us who made it possible. A lot of people to give shout out. We don't know where to start, but we know and they know that we appreciate them. As Frederick said, we are in an era of awakening. And Frederick talked about the book he purchased, The Sparks, New Beginning. That book is also on our portal. You can look into it. And he said, well, we'll be waiting for him to give us feedback on how he felt or his experiences while reading the book. I'm very sure he has already gathering some. He's been gathering some already. I know that when we return some other time, he will tell us his experiences. It's not just a book that you just go to the shop and buy. It's a text, it's a sacred text. And when you read it, you will know. There is a command. There is a prompt. You don't just read and sleep, you read and act. So it's also there for those who wish to purchase it. It's there. From any country you are, you can make your purchase. You can use any currency, your denomination or your country, and it will be successful. So everything we raise from there is also reinvested into teaching you what we are doing. Of course, you guys know we run this at a cost. Uh, we do promo. Of course, you're seeing the designs, graphics, and everything. Of course, those who do that don't do it for free. They don't take thank you as salaries. They are paid. So whatever we raise is also put into this. Our own responsibility as followers is just to make this big. All of us can agree that our lectures, our teachings is better for bigger audience. They are better suited for bigger audience. And I alone cannot create that audience. You've listened to what we say, you've been following, you've enjoyed your time. Many have recorded their miracles, a whole lot of them. Many wanted to testify. I say we can only take one person at a time. And besides, I don't want millions of people flooding here for miracles. I've stated this several times. So we don't want to promote miracle as our foundation. Others are free to do that. We want you to be able to create your miracle. And I tell you that one of the things that will help you to create your miracle is when you rush that website and you purchase the sparks. You read it, your consciousness will unlock. That's a money back guarantee. What we're saying is why we have to sell the sparks is for us to be able to be raising little funds and be funding this. Otherwise, the time may come when we won't be able to. Because everybody might be too busy or too committed with his resources to make it happen. So we need to be running it and making sure that those who need to be paid get paid. So at the moment, we are just metamorphosizing. Gradually, we're transforming. And only God knows what will transform to tomorrow. But let's keep the energy up. Let's keep the effort going. Let's keep the consistency at the highest level. And I tell you that the result must come. Once you stick around, prepared, your time must come. You have to prepare first. When you prepare, you stick around. Even if your opportunity hasn't come, don't leave. Put your eyes on any space. And I tell you that if you stick around very prepared, your opportunity must come. That is the law of the universe. It does not change. So our job is to make sure that our audience is expanded. You share our posts, you comment, you react. You see, when I say prayers to you, for you, on my post, you see 500 likes. When I ask you to pray for me, nobody will pray for me. And even if somebody prays, you will see two likes. And sometimes you begin to wonder, is it that these people are just interested in their own welfare or what? Or they don't think that the person doing this is also a human being who also needs prayers or who also needs a thank you. This is the mentality we want to change. We have to have that mentality of volunteering. We have to have that culture of sacrifice. We have to build that. If you don't do that, then you won't be able to achieve anything. Before I end this speech, I want all of us to listen very, very well. For those of you in Africa, there is a big challenge, especially the sub Saharan side of it. The big challenge you're going to face is from the angle that you least expect. That angle is your workforce. The new generation are not interested in learning anything. That should worry you. And the thing is that they want it big, real big. And not just that they want it big, they want it real quick. And because they want it big and quick, they are not interested in those small things. Those things they call small things. Be it in discussion, they call it small discussion because you aren't talking money. Be it in a job employment, they don't want to be involved in low pay jobs. They don't want to be involved in artisans. They don't want to be artisans. They don't want to learn skills. They are interested in big, big things. And I tell you that those big, big things cannot exist without the small ones. And if you neglect the small ones in search of the big ones, I tell you that the big ones will collapse upon you. Remember this thing I'm saying, and remember me for it. If you don't arrest the slide, I don't know who is listening, but I know that someone is listening. If you don't arrest the slide, that is a full descent to a very bad outcome. Those big, big things you're going for, they will need the attention of the small people. You see the luxury cars, you go to the auto workshops, they are all parked there because they can't be maintained. And the new generation are not interested in learning those. They want to drive them, they don't want to repair them. It's a problem. You need to expand our message. This is not a spiritual movement, this is a lifestyle movement. This is not about spirituality. It's about helping you to improve yourself, no matter who you are, no matter your spirituality. In fact, my best friends are those who don't believe in God. Those are the people I like to engage. And by the time I engage them, they begin to understand they have actually misunderstood God all this while. So, irrespective of your faith, we are suiting to your soul. Spread our message so that we can expand our audience. That is your only responsibility. And then you can leave the rest of the responsibilities to me. And as I have said, your only support is to make sure our audience is expanded. And that is nothing more and nothing else. I wish you all the best. It's been a wonderful, amazing 2023 for all of us. And I tell you, if you feel you haven't achieved anything, and then you're sitting somewhere or standing somewhere listening to me with your two legs, two eyes, two hands, even if you don't have them, but at least you're breathing the same air that all of us are breathing, I tell you that you've won everything. You've won everything. Life is for the living, and he who is alive has a chance to try again. And all of us will be kept alive till the end of this year, which we have few days to end. And then we'll be ushered into a glorious 2024. All our effort this year will begin to pay. Everything we've suffered for, everything we've prayed for. Most of us here have been on spiritual journey. Some of you who share their dreams with me, they are all similar. All your dreams are alike. And when you do that, I told you that you're on a journey. Many of you are on awakening journey. It's been a long distance. Moving from the dark end of the spectrum to the light of it is a tortuous journey. And that is what you're doing. And your effort will begin to pay from next year. That I can assure you. If it hasn't worked for you, don't give up. Just know that your time is around. The timing of life is very different. People has got, that's why we don't have the same time zones. That's why someone in Nairobi has a different time with someone in Lagos, with someone in London, with someone in New York. We all don't have the same time. And that's how timing of life is. For the fact that it hasn't happened for you does not mean that it won't happen. But the only thing you owe yourself is to be consistent. Never give up. If it didn't happen today, don't say, no, I won't try again. Oh, I have tried and it never worked. So no need for me to try again. That would be a lazy man's thinking. That would be a defeatist mentality. And that is not for people who come to our page. If you knock and the door refuses to open, don't go away. Keep knocking. And I tell you that someday the door will open. May light shine on our path. And let the light shine. Please go to the portals and download your hard work for free. And then you can also go and purchase the Sparks New Beginning. The Sparks, as the name is, sparks of fire. Sparks of fire. And when you say sparks, you know what exactly sparks mean. That's the sparks of fire. And when it sparks in your consciousness, it begins to flame. It smolders and then it flames up. It flames up. And then we call it the sparks, new beginning. And when it begins to flame up, a new beginning begins in your life. And that's basically what the book is all about. And I tell you, you will not wish that this moment pass you by. If you ever come across that book and after reading it, and your life remains the same, just come back and meet me and tell me it has no effect on you. I tell you. So please let us enjoy this moment, enjoy every piece of our living. Whatever life throws at you, catch it, look at it, analyze it, learn your lessons from it, and see how you can implement your lessons. Do not expect this space to be rosy. I keep telling it. I keep saying it. It's not designed to be rosy. So when you face those challenges, you think of the positivity coming from it. And I always tell you that darkness and a light, they interact together. They work together for a common goal, a common cause. And sometimes for your light to shine, your darkness will first, just like the day. Before the day comes, the night will also come. And during the night, you get terrified. You get scared. You don't want to go into the darkness. But gradually, when the sun shines, you come out again and you are all smiles. That is how life is. So sometimes when you are in your night, don't think your morning will not come. You have to prepare because your morning will come. Because if you don't expect that your morning will come, when your money comes, you will not do anything. You will spend all your day just wondering how your day looks instead of creating an event around it. So I call upon the Supreme God of the universe to bestow His blessings upon all of us, to give us maximum security, protection, physically and spiritually. Yeah, we call for light to soften our heart. If you have hatred in your mind, then you are not for this light because it cannot reside. It does not reside in hate. You have to purge yourself for all that so that you can receive this beautiful light that blossom your life. Once more, I thank all of us for being part of this glorious moment. And I say again, may light shine on our path. See you some other time as we end this event. Do not forget tonight to ask your ancestors for apologies if you had ever caused them, disrespected them in any way. Ask them, apologize, and tell them you're sorry. Do it in simple prayer. In fact, put it in your new moon rite and tell them you're sorry and you're ready to recognize their presence so that they can help you and give you native wisdom. Otherwise, any other wisdom you are going for will not sit because nothing sits on a vacuum. Wish all of you the best, season's greeting, and see you again some other time. Bye. I am that iron rod that you read this text. I am the quench fire flaming up. When the sun rises, I rise. I am the golden stool in a royal court. I represent the past, the present, and the future. You may have a million reasons to dislike me. You may even have a billion reasons to dismiss me. But there is certainly one reason. You must give me your attention. And that reason is, none like me had ever been on this planet. And there will be none after me.